Before you change anything about how you play, check one thing. Pick up your guitar and press down a string at the first fret. Not hard, just enough to make the note. Now look at the gap between the string and the fret. If you can fit a business card in there comfortably, your guitar is fighting you every time you play and you do not know it. Action. That is what the gap is called. And most beginner guitars come with action that is way too high from the factory because setting it up properly costs time, and time costs money, and nobody buying a $150 guitar is going to notice until 6 months later when they wonder why bar chords feel like a grip strength exercise. High action means you have to press harder to make the note sound. Pressing harder means more tension in your hand. More tension means slower fingers, more buzzing, more fatigue, and a subtle feeling every time you play that the guitar is not quite cooperating. You practice more, you blame your technique, you buy a new guitar. The new guitar has the same problem. A setup costs between $40 and $60 at any guitar shop. They lower the action, adjust the neck, intonate the strings. The guitar you already own becomes a different instrument. Most people who get their guitar set up for the first time say it feels like learning on something completely new. It is the highest return on investment available to any guitarist who has not done it yet, and almost nobody talks about it because there's nothing to sell you. Get your guitar set up. Do it before anything else. The instinct when something does not sound right on guitar is to press harder and strum harder, more force, more commitment, make it happen. That instinct is wrong almost every time. Tension is the enemy of good guitar playing. When your fretting hand is tense, the notes choke. When your strumming hand is tense, the tone gets harsh and thin and percussive in a way that doesn't sound musical. When both hands are tense, which they usually are when someone is trying hard to sound good, the whole thing locks up and you start making mistakes you wouldn't make if you were just noodling around not thinking about it. The best sounding guitarists look effortless because they are genuinely using less effort than you think. They've learned exactly how much pressure is needed to make a note ring clean, and they're using precisely that amount and not more. That calibration takes time, but the first step toward it is just awareness. Play something. Notice where you're holding tension, your shoulder, your forearm, the base of your thumb. Release it. Play the same thing again. It will probably sound better immediately. Not because you changed your technique, because you stopped interfering with it. Here's the difference between someone who sounds good and someone who sounds okay. The person who sounds good is not playing harder or faster or more complex things. They're playing with more intention about how loud each note is relative to the ones around it. Dynamics, the variation in volume and weight between notes. It's the most overlooked element in beginner guitar playing, and it's the one that makes the biggest difference to how musical something sounds. When every note is the same volume, the music feels flat, not because the notes are wrong, because nothing is being emphasized over anything else. There's no shape to it. A melody is not just a sequence of correct pitches, it's a sequence of pitches where some matter more than others, and the ones that matter more are louder, and the ones that are passing through are quieter, and that relationship between them is what makes it feel like music instead of notes. You don't need a new technique to use dynamics. You just need to decide before you play something which notes are the important ones, and then make those ones slightly louder than the rest. That's it. Play the same thing you were already playing with that one adjustment and listen to what happens to it. It will sound like you got better overnight. You didn't get better, you got more deliberate. Those are different things, and the second one is available to you right now. Nobody wants to hear this. Play slower. Not because slow is more musical, although sometimes it is, because the version of the thing you're playing at the speed you're playing it has mistakes in it that you've stopped hearing because you've heard them so many times they sound normal now. The slightly muted string, the chord change that clips the end of the previous chord, the note that doesn't quite ring before you move to the next one. You know they're there. You're hoping they're not as obvious as they feel. They are exactly as obvious as they feel. Slow the whole thing down by half. Not to practice it, just to play it slowly and listen to what's actually happening. You'll hear the muted string. You'll hear exactly where the chord change falls apart. You'll hear the note that isn't ringing. And now you know what you're actually working with instead of the blurred version you've been playing through. Speed on guitar is a byproduct of accuracy practiced slowly over time. It's not a thing you develop by playing fast and hoping the sloppiness resolves itself. The sloppiness does not resolve itself. It just becomes faster sloppiness. Every player you've ever heard who sounds clean at speed got there by being ruthlessly accurate at slow speed first and then letting the tempo increase naturally as the accuracy became automatic. Slow down, fix the specific thing that breaks, then speed it back up. That's the whole method. It's not complicated, it's just slower than people want it to be. Please, if you made it this far and something in here actually helped, a like or a comment does more for this channel than most people realize. We're trying to make this stuff as useful as possible, and every bit of engagement helps us reach people who actually need to hear it. I appreciate you watching.